Hello folks, this is Paragon RG and you're watching another casted match of Age of Empires 4. In this particular match, we have Whatevs, who is RecoN. I will sort of alternate between those names, at least I do so historically, as the game goes on. And he's in the blue, playing as the Abbasid Dynasty. Abbasid Dynasty, definitely one of the civs that are struggling right now, so I'm keeping an eye on them to see if players are figuring out good ways to use them. In the red, on the northwest of the map, we have DeMusliM playing as the Delhi Sultanate. I am always interested to see what the build orders and general play are from the Delhi Sultanate. And I honestly just love Delhi versus Abbasid games. They're two of the more different civs. You know, you get camels, you get war elephants. It's just good to see. So we see the early mosque coming down from DeMusliM. Starting with the efficient production technology, this is pretty standard. So he'll be able to garrison scholars into military buildings to double their production speed. So pretty useful. And in my experience, just casting matches, one of the ways this can be useful is you can double half the speed, half the time for an elephant's production from a minute to 30 seconds. And what that means is as soon as you hit castle age, 30 seconds later, you can have one or more elephants out on the field. And yes, elephants are not the best unit in this game, but that is such a huge power spike that it can potentially accomplish what you need, like something like driving your opponent off of the sacred sites. Let's take a little look at the map here. We are on Lipany. This is one of the ones I can never remember its name. 3 sacred sites. One is in the bottom, a little bit stranded, pretty much equidistant from both players. The one in the middle, also equidistant, is on top of the hill here. So I'm expecting this will be fought over to some degree. This is a nice spot for an outpost or even just a scout for better vision around the map. And then over here we have the third sacred site. And I point out the sacred sites in particular because of Delhi. Once they get the sanctity technology in the feudal age, they will be able to capture sacred sites and get 100% more gold, which means 200 gold per minute instead of 100 gold per minute. That's a pretty big deal. They'll often choose to do things like a wall around them. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of wall getting put around this one, but we'll see what kind of play DeMusliM chooses to go with. House of Wisdom for RecoN, choosing to go with the economic wing, which of course unlocks the fresh foodstuffs technology for the Abbasid Dynasty. People like this tech. I personally think it's a little bit overrated, and I'm not sure the math checks out on it being as good as people say that it is. But perhaps that's just one more reason why Abbasid Dynasty are only so-so. If that's one of their best technologies, then maybe they have a problem indeed. Dome of the Faith being created from DeMusliM. This will allow him to create scholars at 50% the cost. Pretty standard, not really nothing too crazy there. It's the third age where we see either the Compound of the Defender or the House of Wisdom, or is it Learning? This is the House of Wisdom. So House of Learning, which provides some unique upgrades, which are unfortunately, one of which is bugged, taking way too much time to finish. So only now DeMusliM getting on the berries. And I've seen this from him multiple times now. He'll stay on sheep for a little while, possibly just to save the 50 wood. So basically it's 100 wood, 50 wood, 50 wood for the house, 50 wood for the lumber camp. So that's 250, and that's how much Delhi starts with. They start with the most wood out of any civilization. And then you click up to Dome of the Faith before you hit 20 villagers. And then you do, you get enough villagers on wood, I guess, and you do the house you need and the mill. This will put him a bit behind on techs, but... Oh, wheelbarrows... Oh, I'm thinking that's... I thought that was feudal age. Yeah, anyway. Live and learn. So he will be a bit behind on the food techs, but I think that's okay. It lets him have a really smooth build order, and looks like a sub 5-minute feudal age. So the economic wing did finish, and fresh foodstuffs is coming in immediately for RecoN. So he wants that 50% price on making his villagers. He's pretty steady on wood here. Oh, here we go. So he's got 7 villagers on stone. So he is almost certainly going for the 2TC boom, and in theory could even be 3TC, but I don't think I've seen that kind of greed out of very many professional players. So lots on wood, lots on stone pretty much means town centers. And in terms of total resources, you see he now has enough. There goes the town center. So the half price when you're producing villagers out of 2 town centers is obviously that much more effective. So we'll see how that pans out for him. And he should start generating a villager lead in the next couple of minutes. Let's say the next 3 minutes. 22 currently for him, 22 for DeMusliM. DeMusliM already has a second military unit out. What is that second military unit? Did he make another scout? So 1 scout here. What am I missing? 3 military units? Here's the blacksmith. Archer range being produced now. You must have more scouts on the map, no? Unless scholars count as military units, that could be it. 2 scholars in here. Must be what it is. Okay, so Sanctity Tech is coming in. There's still just under 3 minutes to finish that. Got a few villagers on gold for DeMusliM, and archer range and barracks coming up. So it looks like we're going to be seeing a fairly well-rounded unit composition out of him. We'll see if he pops out his scholars for faster unit production, or if he's looking to speed up that Sanctity upgrade. Both seem like pretty reasonable options to me. Outpost, forward outpost going down. I like this a lot. Protects both the berries and the gold. Really good good eye there from RecoN. That makes a lot of sense. Delhi, yes, not the best aggressive civ, but when they do place scholars into these buildings, which he has not done, they can produce quite a unit spam. Quite a unit spam. Okay, so the second town center is now up. So 27 on 29. So RecoN is ahead now to villagers. Now this is a significant cost. It does take about 5 minutes without any special upgrades to have a second town center pay off. Now once it does, it pays off very quickly. You start getting ahead, you know, the next couple minutes after that, you're ahead by 1,000 resources. So he needs to be able to hold off. Let's say 7 minutes plus 5, so 12 minutes. Now he does have the fresh foodstuffs upgrade, which yes, does cost some resources on its own, but it means that I think in under 4 minutes now, these 2 town centers will pay themselves off, and he will have a significantly better economy. So let's keep an eye on the 11-minute mark and see where RecoN is. If DeMusliM does not manage to do significant damage by the 11-minute mark, he may be in trouble because RecoN will already be break even, which means actually his production will be accelerating past DeMusliM at that point, right? So he'll have more villagers, more resources, he'll add the production facilities he needs, and then he'll really start pumping out units. RecoN's unit being scout being taken out, seeing these spears and archers from his opponent. So he now knows aggression is coming in. So really the game is, how does he deal with this? Looks like some archers headed home. They may have been headed out, but he now knows what he is up against. He has this front tower, which is a really good call, and he's upgrading it with arrow slits, using some of that extra stone that he got. I wouldn't even mind seeing another outpost coming down from him, just to prevent, like, even, well, I guess there's a town center there. Blacksmith here. Just to really, like, you know you're going to be ahead by the 11-minute mark. And folks, it's already the 9-minute mark, right? So he's halfway to the point he needs. DeMusliM is definitely on a timer to do damage against the Abbasid player here. That being said, the first batter and ram is coming out from him. So he used that blacksmith to get siege engineering. And that is a significant investment in time. He could have been getting, you'll notice he has no other blacksmith upgrades at this point. He's only working on the first ranged attack upgrade now, because siege engineering takes so long. So RecoN sniping away at some units here, trying to slow down any ram production. Right? He's almost at that 10-minute mark, getting pretty close to that break-even point, and units are starting to be spammed out by him. I have to keep an eye on DeMusliM, see what he gets up to. RecoN is saving up a few more resources than I would like. I think he needs to work on spending them. He doesn't get early men-at-arms. I guess the only thing you can use that gold on really at this stage are camel archers, and those are not in favor right now. DeMusliM has the bottom sacred site, so that is 200 extra gold per minute from him. So something to that calculation I gave where the 11 or 12 minute mark is important is really, it's pretty loose, and it's going to it's going to change. Do people have relics by that point, if that's possible, if they're in the third age, or do they have sacred sites, things like that. Second, oh, he has all three now, so this is 600 gold per minute, which is probably something like 14 villagers equivalent for DeMusliM. Let's take a look at the economies then for both players, and we see that it is 38 for DeMusliM and 51 for RecoN. So actually very similar economies right now because of those sacred sites. So RecoN now starting to work on neutralizing them. You'll see archers are heading over here to kill this spearman and take back the sacred site, and he's almost neutralized the one over here. So excellent play by him. He's past that 11-minute mark now. And we need to see what he gets up to. So looks like he is pushing pretty hard for the Castle Age. So that appears to have been his plan. DeMusliM has not been spending resources too efficiently. 1,200 gold in the bank for him. So possibly a market, maybe we'll see a market come down. We'll see him buy some food. Pardon me. And we'll see him click up to the Castle Age soon. Battle. Just a little skirmish here. Looks like RecoN losing a few units on the sacred site. So it does keep... DeMusliM does keep that sacred site, but has lost 2 of them. So still really good job from RecoN. And he's now clicked up to the Castle Age. I feel like this is maybe a little bit greedy. I would have liked to see a stronger sense of map control for him. And if he sees his opponent hits the Castle Age, then... work on hitting the Castle Age. You're ahead in villagers, and you can use that map control to keep your Delhi opponent off of the sacred sites. But once he hits it, I was about to check how many villagers are on it, but of course he is the Abbasid dynasty, and it is a simple upgrade. He's going with the culture wing. I don't often see these techs get researched, but it's possible he goes for the reduce in technology cost by 30%. So we will see. Poking around, needs to jump on these archers here. RecoN can do some pretty good damage. Doesn't want to get jumped on himself. Yeah, I would love to see him turn around here instead of taking a bigger battle. And in fact, this might actually turn on him if he's not careful. If he loses this battle, okay, turns back now. I think he lost a chance to jump on a pretty good size unit, let's say group of units for DeMusliM. DeMusliM trying to take this back, but his scholars have had to be careful, so he hasn't been able to do so. RecoN will use this opportunity to stand on the middle sacred site. Even if you lose your scholar right away, it is still worth taking the sacred site for Delhi. They get 66 gold immediately, and it takes, I think, 30 seconds to bring a sacred site from the bar full to 0, meaning that you actually make back your scholar's cost, assuming it was built out of the Dome of Faith. Battle here in the center. I'm a little worried for RecoN on this one. I mean, he might win the battle. Oh, he's going for the scholars now. He might win the battle, but if he could have waited, he can upgrade these. I think he needs to go. I don't think this is worth it for him. I think this might be a turning point in the game. Ooh, he's losing this battle now. More troops coming in, and only a couple of reinforcements for him. I think he needed to give up this sacred site. I will stop backseating now. RecoN is an excellent player, and we'll see what he is able to do. Trying to take back the sacred site along the top here, and he still has this one neutralized with a few units lurking in the stealth forest. So he is prepared to drive his opponent back out of that one. Additionally, we'll take a look at the economies again, and we see 72 for RecoN and 49 for DeMusliM. So definitely a significant lead. Both players are now in the Castle Age, so technology-wise, they should be pretty similar. Camel Archer coming out from RecoN. I feel like that might actually be a mistake, considering that he did not go up with the military wing. If he had, he'd be able to get the technology. Let's hover it just a second here. So where Camels increase the armor of nearby infantry by 1, which can allow groups of Abbasid archers to win battles against opposing archers. For example, against longbowmen, they can even the odds significantly by just increasing that armor by 1, meaning the longbow's +1 attack is negated. So at least he has removed this from his opponent, and he is pushing him back. We'll see how quickly he's able to get the veteran archer upgrade in, but there are now men-at-arms coming in from the Delhi player and Tower War Elephants. You love to see it. The elephants are headed out. Do we see any more? Relics being pulled in now. Okay, so we see another Tower War Elephant coming out and more men-at-arms. Pretty solid composition, to be honest. These men-at-arms are going to tank a lot of hits. The Tower War Elephant itself is pretty hard to take out. And yeah, I mean, I think this just covers a lot of ground. The archers will take out any spears he comes up against. Yeah, men-at-arms pretty decent against horsemen. So not a bad composition, all in all, coming out from DeMusliM and starting to regain map control here. And we'll see if he brings a scholar back out to this middle sacred site and retakes it. Second Tower War Elephant on its way out. Elephant now starting to hack down the outpost of his opponent. Pulling back for now, doesn't want to lose too many units. His opponent not yet at Archer, and he is at Veteran Archer. So he does have a temporary advantage here. There's a Springald coming out from RecoN. I'm a little fuzzy as to why. Springalds are nowhere near as good against elephants as they used to be, doing only 30 damage now. And of course, bonus damage against siege elephants are not considered siege, even though they kind of act as siege weapons. Okay, multiple Springalds out from him now. These may add up in terms of total damage done, losing a lot of villagers on the front, so some of that advantage starting to disappear. Cavalry jumping on these Tower War Elephants, which I like quite a bit. Probably needed to take out the archers, though. The archers seem to be causing some of the biggest problem for him. Now, these archers can start taking out his opponents, and it looks like RecoN will stabilize here. Or take out at least one of his opponent's war elephants. DeMusliM does need to pull back. Each of these elephants costing 1,000. This is 600 gold, 400 food. Doesn't want to lose another one of them. And Lancers will punish these things. Look at the bodies around them, though. These elephants are serious. I'll give them that. So 2 elephants going down. In the end, RecoN, nicely done from him. These Springalds may have paid off. They're, in my opinion, a little expensive. I would have preferred to just see maybe some more Lancers out from him. I think that could have cleared up. To be honest, Lancers are probably a pretty good counter to most of what DeMusliM had in that battle. So perhaps starting to see more more Springalds coming in. Interesting. DeMusliM now back to all 3 sacred sites. So really good job from him. Taking them all back. RecoN didn't see this in time, but he is taking this one back right away. So nice job from him. I'm sure by now DeMusliM knows there's just units lurking nearby. DeMusliM has spread his wings to other berries in the area, adding mills throughout, grabbing deer all along his side of the map. So really stretching out. RecoN, on the other hand, we see some walling back here, trying to play a little safer, adding more of that farm economy, running a space around most of his town centers, so starting to add it around a new mill. Current resources, neither player look like they are headed to the Imperial Age anytime soon, which makes sense to me. I think currently we're going to fight for map control in this game, and yeah, we will see who is able to get it. I do worry about all of these Springalds. I feel like RecoN is testing the waters. Are Springalds still that useful? I mean, we know they haven't been used as much since the patch. We know they were nerfed. And for the best, we were seeing Springalds way too often. They're just not as effective as they were before. But are they still effective? And are they effective against this composition is really the question here. This tower... Okay, elephants being pulled away from the tower. Horsemen running in. Not a bad idea against Tower War Elephants, considering that they don't have very much melee armor at all, but some of those horsemen going down. This is a nasty push from DeMusliM. There are a lot of men-at-arms here. Let's switch over to him for a sec. 21 men-at-arms. 4 tower... Where's the 4th? Oh, here it comes. 4 tower war elephants for him. I think a hard Lancer push or a Lancer switch for RecoN could do the trick here, but I'm worried it's starting to be too late. Archers are not going to be very effective against these men-at-arms. Springolds will chip away, but even if a single elephant gets on top of them, they will go down so quickly, continuing to pull them back, scooting and shooting. Trying to snipe away, maybe sniping those Scholars. I'm not... Yeah, okay, Scholar going down to the Springolds. Big battle here. All forces engaging. This is too many Tower War Elephants. I don't think RecoN can keep this back. And look at how safe all these units are in the back, just firing away. Meanwhile, RecoN's forces are being hit by the tusks of these elephants. I think they're going down. Really all he has left now are the Springolds and a couple Lancers. A few more troops coming out. This is looking dire for RecoN. Gets away at least with his Springolds, pulls north. Hopefully keeps scooting and shooting to get some more value out of those units. Men-at-arms starting to get amidst the villagers for his opponent. 69 from him. Oh, and I can't even check RecoN because he taps out. Really solid push and composition from DeMusliM. RecoN not quite able to handle it. Delhi versus Abbasid. Abbasid, take it on Lipany. Folks, has been Paragon RG. I hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.